यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी यशोदनंदन हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दन भज जनरञ्जना यमुनातिरवनचारि हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय गांधर्व का गिरिधारी गांधर्व का गिरिधारी गांधर्व का गिरिधारी गौरा हरे जय गौरनिता 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 जय गौरनिता जय प्रभुपाद जय श्रील प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय श्रील प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय श्रील प्रभुपाद। युग धर्म हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्य उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Hare Krishna. So welcome to this Krishna Janmashtami meditation series, and this is the mood of Janmashtami, and the mission of Janmashtami is knocking at our doors. To intensify that spirit of service and sacrifice, we are organizing this Krishna Janmashtami meditation series. I hope all of you have been attending it in the past few weeks. Must be having a very, very devotionally surcharged time. The topic given to me today is attracting the all attractive. So it's a very difficult topic. How can you attract the all attractive? Only the all attractive can attract everybody. So I was thinking that we can, I was also told that we should discuss some childhood pastimes of Krishna, because Janmashtami is around the corner. So I was thinking either to discuss the Kaliya Leela, I see the photo of Kaliya Leela here, or maybe the Putana Leela. But then after discussing with Subandhu Prabhu, we have finalized We don't have photo of Putana, so that's why we will not discuss Putana Leela here. We have Kalya Leela photo. So Putana represents a false guru, a guru who encourages his students to engage in bhukti and aspire for mukti, devoid of devotion. A guru who preaches beyond his realizations is also a false guru. So when I was coming, I was meditating that this Putana Leela is very appropriate for me to speak upon, because I always, 99.99% times I speak beyond my realizations. But because these words belong to Srila Prabhupada, and because we are being trained to become parrots of Srila Prabhupada, that is why we still dare to speak, hoping and praying that one day, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, whatever we are trying to repeat, which are his words only, will give us that consciousness, will give us that qualification to practice pure devotional service. However, since the topic finalized today is Kalya Leela, it's a very, very difficult anartha which is represented by this Kalya pastime. So each demon in Krishna Leela represents an anartha. Anartha means that which has no meaning in our spiritual life. Anartha. So this Kalya Leela represents enviousness in the association of devotees. So again, a very difficult anartha. I am not personally qualified to speak. But just to remind myself how bad this anartha is and how non-optional it is to deal or work over this anartha, we will discuss this Kalya Leela. Each demon in Krishna Leela represents an anartha. Some demons are killed by Krishna, some demons are killed by Balram. Krishna represents the Vishnu Tattva or the Bhagavad Tattva, and Balram represents the Guru Tattva. So therefore, the demons who are killed by Balram means if at all we face those anarthas, then we have to surrender to Guru and we have to follow the instructions of Guru to overcome that. And the demons which are killed by Krishna, that is the symbolic meaning of the demons which are killed by Krishna is that while following the instructions of Guru, we have to cry in front of Krishna to be able to overcome those anarthas. There are many demons who were killed in Krishna Leela, but there is one unfortunate demon who was not killed. That is Kalya. That's why Srila Prabhupada writes, Krishna subdues the serpent Kalya in Krishna book. And in Bhagavatam it is called Krishna chastises the serpent Kalya. All other demons, they got liberation from the cycle of material existence because of being killed by Krishna. But this poor Kalya could not be killed only. So let's discuss this Kalya pastime. So I will divide the whole discussion in two parts. The first part is the flow or the pristine flow of this katha, this pastime, which is all purifying. The Bhagavatam says, Shrinvatam swakatha Krishna punya shravana kirtanaha hridyanto hi abhadrani vidhnoti suhritsatam. Shrinvatam swakatha Krishna punya shravana kirtana. Simply by hearing the pastimes of Krishna, a great, pious, spiritually potent activity is performed. Shrinvatam swakatha Krishna. My disease is that I don't want to hear Krishna Katha, I want to hear Swakatha. I want to hear my own glorification, I want to hear my own subject matter. I want that the whole world should speak about me. Even when I enter VK Sports, the guard should salute me. That is my disease. By the way, the guard did salute me. I felt happy. Morning I went to Akshar Yoga there. The guard didn't salute me. I was miserable. So that is our disease. So, Shrinvatam Swakatha Krishna. We have to go on hearing the pastimes of Krishna. Punya Shravana Kirtana. We will generate great spiritual credits by hearing it and applying it in our lives. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Tesham yesham to antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam. Te dvand moha nirmukta bhajante mam dridhavrata. So who can practice Krishna consciousness in a very stable and a strict way? Those whose sinful reactions are destroyed completely. Those who are free of sinful life. Now how is that possible? Shrinvata yesham to antagandam papam jananam punya karmanam. Those who have a lot of pious credits. Now how this pious credit will develop? Shrinvatam swakatha krishna punya shravana kirtana. When we hear, we develop spiritual piety. We develop respect for sadhus, for saintly people. And by respecting them, by taking their darshan, by associating with them, by hearing from them, we develop that spiritual piety. Srila Prabhupada often comments that all the boys who are sitting on the banks of Yamuna and eating the lunch with Krishna, they are all greatly spiritually pious people from many, many lifetimes. It's not just a one lifetime of spiritual piety. So we have to go on hearing Shrinvatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Vidhnoti Suhrit Satam Hridayantos Thohi Abhadrani. Whatever abhadra, whatever unwanted things which are there in my heart. Are there some unwanted things in our heart? What are they? Can somebody tell me?
Ego.
Sorry?
Ego.
Okay. Car? Kam. I said car is unwanted. Okay. Kama. Krodha. Lobha. Sorry? Moha. Mada. Matsar. Wow, everybody knows everything here. Sorry?
It is filled.
It is filled. So, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, Matsarya, these things are not required in our heart, but it is filled there. And there is no place for people who have this lust, anger and greed in their heart in the spiritual world. There is no place. We don't have a place. Just like a person who likes to shoot people, he has no place in the civilized society. His place is only in the jail. Similarly, those who have Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, Matsarya, they don't have any place in the spiritual world. They have place in the material world. Therefore, it's called as a jail. So, when we go on hearing the pastimes of Krishna, Hridayantos Thohi Abhadrani, in the deep inner chambers of our heart, that ego which is there, that lust, anger and greed which is there, it is getting cleaned. And who is taking the charge of cleaning it? Vidhnoti Suhrit Satam. Krishna himself takes charge of cleaning it. The association of devotees takes charge of cleaning it. Satam. Satam also means saintly people. So when we associate with saintly people, hearing Krishna Katha, developing loving relationships, finding happiness and satisfaction in that relationship, and when these saintly people encourage us in the process of Krishna consciousness, then we experience cleansing of heart. So that is the benefit of hearing Krishna Katha. And that is why all of us, specifically every weekend, at least once, we assemble to hear. So the first part of this discussion will be this Katha. And the second part of this discussion will be lessons derived. If I just enjoy or relish this Katha, but I do not apply it in my life, then the progress will be very, very slow. I can go on attending 50, 100,000 Bhagavatam classes, but if I do not apply it in my life, what's the point? So therefore, whenever we hear Katha, it is a parallel railway track. The relishment of the Krishna Katha and the practical applications from the Krishna Katha, they both go together. So we will divide today's discussion in two parts. Even before I start discussing, so that I get proper attention, in Kali Yuga, the mentality is what is in it for me? What will I get? So the Falashruti of this Kalya Leela is that anybody who hears this Kalya Leela with faith and devotion, how? With faith and devotion. Not while sleeping or while using the mobile, etc., etc. Actually, during Katha, chanting is also not good. Because I've heard from my seniors, neither you can focus on chanting nor you can focus on Katha. So it is actually, not a very good activity to do. So the first Falashruti of hearing this Kalya Leela with faith and devotion is that unlimited sinful reactions are destroyed. How many of us do we feel that we have little bit sinful reactions in our life? And what is the hope of its destruction? There is very less hope. So such kind of discussions give us hope. Second, the Kalya, the snake, the serpent Kalya represents enviousness in the association of devotees, malice, fault finding, wickedness, wretchedness, malicious intentions in the association of devotees, hidden malicious intentions. That Kalya mentality is uprooted when we, with faith and devotion, if we hear this Kalya pastime. Thirdly, if anybody is suffering from any Kala Sarpa doshas, those Kala Sarpa doshas are also destroyed simply by hearing this Kalya Leela with faith and devotion. And lastly, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Na Shochati Na Kankshati Samah Sarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhaktim Lagvate Param. So the disease of the conditioned world is Shochati and Kankshati. They hanker for that which they don't have, and they lament for those things which have been lost. So by hearing this Kalya Leela, this Shochati Kankshati tendency is destroyed. And we attain the Brahma Bhuta platform. So what are the four benefits of hearing Kalya Leela? Who can tell me by raising hand one by one? You have already got a chance. Yes, Mataji. Unlimited sinful reactions get destroyed. Okay, next. Any participation from this side? Yes. Kala Sarpa doshas get destroyed. Very good. Third.
Envious mentality uprooted.
Envious mentality is uprooted simply by hearing this pastime. What a great achievement, no? And last,
Hankering for
you have to raise your hand and speak. Yes.
Past, whatever happened, we will not think about that. Future also, we will not be there.
Okay, somebody else can rephrase it in a better way. Yes.
The diseases, that is, whatever we don't have,
We hanker for it.
we hanker for it, plus we lament for
That which is lost.
what we have lost.
So what will happen if we hear Kalya Leela?
So we get rid of these diseases.
These hankering and lamentation disease we get. Thank you. Thank you very much. So can we start? Now that we are all alert, we know the four benefits. Actually, there are many benefits. I can remember only four. So I just told four. The summer is about to approach, and today is Balram's birthday. So Balram has been retained back at his home by his mother for extra feeding, extra shringar, extra love and affection. So Krishna does something special every time when Balram is not coming with him for Gocharan Leela. Now who is Balram? He is Anantashesh. Imagine if Balram would have been there in Kalya Leela, what would have happened? Kalya would have surrendered to Balram कि आप हमारे माई बाप हो, आप सबसे बड़े सांप हो, आपको हम नतमस्तक हैं. So Kalya Leela wouldn't have happened only. Or Balram being affectionate to his family, because all the serpents are in connection with Sankarshana or Balram. And because Lord Shiva is a great devotee of Sankarshana, he keeps snakes around himself all the time in memory of Sankarshana. So Balram would have intervened also. Please don't kill Kalya or don't punish him. So therefore, today when Balram has not come for Gocharan Leela and summer is about to come, Krishna along with his cows, calves and friends, Krishna used to kill many demons in a day. They used to keep track of time. Kamsa used to send, like one demon used to come around the breakfast time, one demon used to come around the lunch time, one demon used to come around the snacks time, and the final demon would come, that means it's time to go home, like that. Krishna would eat 8 times in a day. So accordingly Kamsa used to send. So Kalya was the third encounter of the day. And the boys were tired, they came to a lake inside Yamuna. And when the boys and the cows and the calves, when they drank the water of Yamuna, they all became affected by the poison which was there in it. And they all became visibly affected and they started fainting and they almost died. Krishna, when he saw this, he could not tolerate it. That in my presence, how can my friends and my cows and my calves and my associates suffer? So he cast his merciful glance upon them and he revived them and brought them back to life. Now, in order to bring someone back to life, Krishna does not need to cast his merciful glance. Simply by his thought, if he will just think, it will happen. But because he was very merciful on his friends and the cows and the calves, and he wanted to give extra nectar, extra mercy, so he cast his merciful moon-like glance on them and brought them back to life. And when they were brought back to life, they could understand that we were gone. But then we have been brought back by Krishna. So then Krishna started to meditate that this contamination in the holy land of Vrindavan is not good. Something should be done about it. Now we'll pause the pastime here and we'll go in flashback few manvantras away to understand what is the history. So what is a manvantara? Who can tell me? Manvantara? You have to raise your hand and tell if you know. Yes. The time of one Manu, which is basically 71 Chaturyuga cycles. So we are in the 7th Manvantara, and this Manvantara is called as, who's the Manu? Vaivasvata Manu. The first Manu was Swambhuva Manu. In between Swambhuva Manu and Vaivasvata Manu, there was a Manu called Chakshusha Manu. I'm going to recite a historical incident which happened during the time of Chakshusha Manu. There were 2 saintly personalities named Vedashira Muni and Ashvashira Muni. I'm quoting from Garga Samhita. They used to reside in the Vindhya mountains. Vedashira Muni, the only wealth in his life was his tapasya. And Ashvashira Muni, the only wealth in his life was also tapasya. They were both great, austere people whose heart was purified by transcendental knowledge, and they had both lost their doership mentality. They were all exalted personalities. But even after being purified by transcendental knowledge and losing the doership mentality, they had still struggled to lose their enviousness. So once when Vedashira Muni was doing his regular spiritual routine, Ashvashira Muni comes in the ashram of Vedashira Muni and sits there and starts doing his tapasya. So Vedashira Muni says, my dear Ashvashira Muni, the whole Vindhya mountains are there. Why you are choosing to come in my area only and do your Yuga Dharma? Satyug's Yuga Dharma is tapasya. Kritya dhyayato Vishnum tretayam yadito makhaihi dvapare paricharyayam kalau tadhari kirtanat. In Satyuga, the Yuga Dharma is to meditate on Lord Vishnu or Krishna. In Treta Yuga, the Yuga Dharma is to do fire sacrifices. In Dwapar Yuga, the Yuga Dharma is to worship the deity of Krishna. And in Kali Yuga, the Yuga Dharma is to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Vedashira Muni asked Ashvashira Muni that you wanted to do your Yuga Dharma, you wanted to do your spiritual practices in my ashram only. This is also often seen in the present day context also. One preacher becomes very agitated if another preacher comes in his area and starts preaching. Did you not know that all the people in this area, all the souls meant who are there in this area, I am their deliverer? Why you came to this area to deliver them? Why didn't you choose any other area to deliver them? या खुद का delivery का tension है. So preachers should remember that we are not deliverers. We are not here to deliver anybody. At least I am speaking about myself. I am not here to deliver anybody. I am just here to deliver, or rather pray for myself and share some words and realizations of Srila Prabhupada. Preachers should remember that mercy is not coming from him, but through him. Now also we see, when one preacher or one temple comes in another area, we feel this. So we can empathize with Vedashira Muni and Ashvashira Muni also. So Ashvashira Muni said, what are you saying, man? The whole world belongs to Krishna. And there is an unlimited place to do tapasya. I can do anywhere I want. What is your problem? In fact, you are becoming so jealous. You are hissing like a snake. I curse you that you become a snake. And you will always be terrified of Garuda. Vedashira Muni was like, मेरे आश्रम में आके मुझे ही कर्स कर दिया. I will also curse him. You have acted like a crow. On slight agitation, you have tried to take revenge from me, so I curse you that you become like a crow. A crow is like that. You interfere with the crow, it will attack you again and again and again. So immediately at that time, the beautiful Lord Vishnu appeared there. And he said, क्या चल रहा है? You are both like my two arms. And when you curse and counter curse each other, it is I who suffer. That's what Srila Prabhupada said, that every devotee within ISKCON should cooperate. Because ISKCON is his body. Many times in the name of service, we bring negative impact to the movement of Srila Prabhupada by our non-cooperative nature. It's not just that the Acharya feels bad, even Krishna feels bad. So when Krishna came there and he said, "Kya chal raha hai? Why you are cursing?" At that time, both Vedashira and Ashvashira started repenting. Before we realized, कर्ज दे चुके हैं एक दूसरे को, क्या कर सकते हैं? What to do? So Lord Vishnu, being the perfect team leader and perfect team player, he said, "I will help you." There are many leadership sutras which we always learn from the pastimes of Lord Krishna. One of the leadership qualities of Lord Krishna is that he never leaves his devotees in their bad times. And I will highlight this towards the end of today's discussion also. Lord Vishnu said that, my dear Vedashira, I can prove my words as false, but I cannot prove the words of my devotee as false. So therefore, if you have been cursed to become a snake, you will become a snake. But you will be a very fortunate snake. I will personally come and dance on your hoods. And I will leave my footprints on your hoods. And seeing those footprints, people will remember you. Seeing those footprints, people will remember me. And Garuda will never disturb you. And my dear Ashwashira, you have been cursed to become a crow, but you will not be any ordinary crow. You will have perfect devotional intelligence, perfect devotional scholarship. And anybody who has any doubt in Vedic literature, they'll come to you. You will be born as Kak Bhushundi, who told Ramayana to Garuda and others. And you will be born as Kaliya, Vedashiri. So this is the background, history number 1. We have paused at Krishna thinking, kuch to karna padega. It has become poisonous. In flashback, we went to Chakshusha Manvantara, where this cursing, counter-cursing has happened. So history number 1. I'll tell history number 2. Are you all with me? I will ask questions. History number 2. Samudra Manthan is going on. And Garuda has got the pot of nectar. And he's supposed to, after it was being distributed properly, after the Mohini avatar is over, he has been entrusted with the task of taking away the rest of the nectar. He's passing over the land of Vrindavan. And by his Trikalagnya, or by the mercy of the Lord, he is able to see that here a pastime of the Lord will happen. Here is a place where the Lord will give us the secret to cure enviousness. But we need a person who is willing to assist the Lord. The Lord needs to jump into the water, but we need a tree who will assist. So immediately one tree volunteered. Are you qualified? No, I am not qualified, but I want to volunteer. So immediately Garuda dropped a drop of nectar on him. That because you volunteered, I give you the qualification. So lesson learned here is, whenever we are given a service in Krishna's realm, whether we want to do it, whether we don't want to do it, whether we are qualified or whether we are not qualified, the moment we try to do it with honesty and sincerity, in that moment empowerment happens. Did you follow? I have been given a service, I don't know, I've never done it. But with full honesty and sincerity, when I aspire to do it, in that very moment I am empowered. So this is history number 2. History number 3. There is a Muni called Saubhari Muni who is doing his tapasya in a lake of Yamuna. The same lake where Kaliya used to stay, where Kaliya will stay later on. He was doing a lot of tapasya and he was practicing austerity and purity. And you know what is the most attractive thing in material world? Austerity and purity. Anybody who does this austerity will attract higher cosmic energy, and anybody who practices purity will be able to, the words of that person will be able to penetrate the hearts of the people. However, if this austerity and purity are not dedicated to Krishna, then we may end up like Hiranyakashipu. There is a saying, Aradhanam yadi hari tapasa tathakyam, naradhanam yadi hari tapasa tathakyam. If you are not serving Lord Hari, then why you are doing this tapasya? It's of no use. And if you are serving Lord Hari, then why you are doing this tapasya? It's not needed. But Saubari Muni was doing this tapasya, and he was attracting all the residents of that underwater. So it is not that underwater only fishes stay. There are many kinds of ethereal living entities who stay. And amongst them, of course, fishes, they also stay. So especially the fishes, they became very surrendered to Saubari Muni, and they used to come to him with all the problems. But Garuda used to come once in a while and pick up one of the fishes and go away. This reminds me of a cartoon which I was seeing when I was a small child. So there was a garden in which there were many crabs. And these crabs used to be picked up by the eagles and the vultures. So one day, the head crab called for a meeting. And let's come and meet and decide how we can stop this attack by the vultures. And when the meeting is going on, the head crab is speaking like this. The vulture comes, picks up the head crab and goes away. This is like, a person who is trying to bring happiness in this world in the name of economic development or socialism or XYZism, not focusing on the solution of birth, death, old age and disease. Or rather, there is a person who's trying to defeat birth, death, old age and disease and is defeated by disease and old age. Why in the process? There is a person, I don't know how many of you know about him, I also don't remember his name. He has started some company where he's trying to defeat old age. Anybody knows him?
Elon Musk.
No, not Elon Musk. There is another madman. He says that I have biologically reversed my age to 15 years younger. Huh? I don't know. He's not an Indian person. So he has spent billions of dollars and founded some medicines and some injections. And many people in the world, they are getting hope from him. He's biologically reversing his age. He's challenging that every human being will be able to live for 150 years. Same joke will happen with him. Crab sitting and lecturing, this vulture will come and take him. So anyways, coming back to the Saubari Muni story, history rather, these are not stories, these are histories. So Saubari Muni is giving shelter to the fishes, and the Garuda comes and takes them away. So the king of the fishes, he went to Saubari Muni and he said, this is not good. Garuda is interfering too much. In your presence, how this is happening? Now Garuda is a transcendental personality who is a resident of the spiritual world. And Saubari Muni is a struggling sadhaka in the material world. But he had the audacity or the guts to curse Garuda. This is called illusion. When we artificially feel we are advanced, but when we are not advanced, that leads to Vaishnava Aparadha. Or rather, we feel that these are some senior devotees. Them I will not offend. But these are some new people. It's okay if I offend. This kind of differential mentality. So due to some anartha of pride and Vaishnav Ninda, he ended up offending Garuda and by cursing him. Now Garuda will not be affected by any curse. But just to keep the honor of the words of a saintly person, he never came to that lake again. But Saubari Muni suffered the result of his own activities. He gave shelter to the fishes. Later on, he saw two fishes only mating with each other. And because of that vision, he got so agitated that he came out of water, completely gave up Krishna consciousness, started materialistic family life, married 50 daughters of King Mandhata, and completely forgot his Krishna conscious practice. To protect someone or to protect our followers, we should not go against our seniors. That is the lesson which we learn from this pastime. Sometimes we feel, ye mere bacche hain. Even Krishna cannot touch them. Even if Prabhupada scolds them, I'll go against Prabhupada also. This tendency is, I'm speaking in a very nice way, but we know this, how this tendency fructifies in our life. So this is history number 3. What was history number 1? Sorry? What was Chakshusha Manvantar story? Veda Shiramuni, Ashva Shiramuni, cursing, counter cursing. Remember? What was history number 2? Samudra Manthan, what happened? Nectar was dropped on a tree. History number 3? Sorry? Saubhri Muni cursed Garuda. Now all of you are remembering history 1, history 2 and history 3. Now we will again go flashback into the Vrindavan Leela, which is the 7th Manvantara, 28th Chaturyuga cycle. Krishna is meditating that this lake has become very poisonous. From Chakshusha Manvantara, Kaliya, actually there is history number 4 also. You want to hear history number 4? Chakshusha Manvantara, Vedashira Muni has taken birth as Kaliya from the womb of Kadru, the son of Prajapati, and his cousin brother is Garuda. So Kaliya is always envious of Garuda, because he was to get all good preference and all good, everything good used to go to Garuda. That's how he used to feel. Now Garuda, being strong, the carrier of Lord Vishnu, used to act in a majestic way also. Just like humans have been given the quota of Patram, Pushpam, Phalam, Toyam, Garuda has been given his quota of snakes. So he used to feast on it. But the people, or the serpent society, there is a society of serpents also. They approached Lord Brahma, this is history number 4, saying that, see, if Garuda will so recklessly keep killing snakes, how will we do our family planning, and how will we progress in life? How will we do economic development? How will we withdraw our PF? How will we, buy a washing machine? All this is becoming very difficult for us. So Brahmaji said, yeah, for this purpose only I gave you birth. So Vasuki, the head of the snakes at that time, and Garuda, they made a treaty that on every half moon night we will give you one snake. You just take that and don't disturb the rest of the snake community. And Garuda said, fine, I'm okay with this settlement. I don't eat to satisfy my hunger. I just eat when I see some bad snakes, basically. But this Kaliya was thinking, again Garuda is getting so much importance. So there was a particular place under a tree where the serpent used to be kept for Garuda to eat once the half moon night. Kaliya went and started eating that offering. And I will show my rebellion against Garuda. I'll make him understand who I am. Now once or twice Garuda ignored. कि ठीक है, मेरा भाई है, खा लिया, ठीक है, चलता है. But at least he should inform me. But Kaliya started speaking bad about Garuda, started to encourage everybody that this treaty done by Vasuki, Brahma and Garuda should not be honored, and started spreading bad, started creating anarchy. So this Garuda didn't like. So then he told Kaliya that, see, this is not good. Kaliya said, I'll do whatever I want, you get lost. So Garuda started fighting with Kaliya and he beat him up. There is a description how he has beat him up, how he thrashed him against mountains, how he threw him 200 yards into water, and how Garuda wrapped the legs of Garuda, how Kaliya wrapped the legs of Garuda and was throwing poison, but how Garuda was able to defeat him. And then understanding that he cannot overpower Garuda, Kaliya started running from one place to another place, from one planetary system to another planetary system, from one Varsha to another Varsha, from one Khanda to another Khanda, and ultimately realizing that he has no shelter anywhere in the universe, he went to Anant Shesh. Who is Anant Shesh? Balram. So he went to Anant Shesh and he said, I surrender to you. You are the king of all serpents. I am a family member. Please protect me. So Anant Shesh told that indeed there is no shelter for you because Garuda you have offended. But there is one lake in Vrindavan where Garuda has been cursed not to come. You can go and stay there. This is history number 4. So that is how Garuda came in this lake. There is a difference between lake and river. In river, the water is flowing, but lake, water is stagnant. So that lake, from so many yugas Kalia is staying, has become so contaminated that poisonous fumes are coming out of that lake. All the grass and the trees and the vegetation around the lake is dead, except one tree. Which tree is it? History number? History number? Okay, 2. It is said that if a bird used to fly over that lake, it used to fall in the lake because of poisonous fumes. Even demigods were not able to fly on that lake. The poisonous fumes had reached so high. So now Krishna didn't like this situation. Please take note, this is not in the Yamuna river, it is in a lake inside Yamuna river. Because had it been in Yamuna river, what would have happened? This Yamuna would have gone to Mathura, Kamsa would have drunk that water and died. Then no need of Krishna Leela, no need of Mathura Leela, sab aise ho jata. Krishna would have thanked Kali, acha hua tum aaye. But he was residing in a lake. That lake, presently it's called as Kalya Hrida. And the tree from where Krishna jumped is still there in Vrindavan. Imagine how old that tree is and how fortunate that tree is that Krishna has placed his lotus feet on that tree and has jumped into the Yamuna. When you do Vrindavan Parikrama, you can see that tree. So Krishna has climbed that tree now. And he is deciding enough is enough. This contamination has to leave. This Kalya has to leave. So Krishna has tightened his belt. He has tugged his dhoti. He has tied his hair just like Lord Chaitanya used to tie on his head in a top knot. And he's about to jump into the water. Rather, let's end the suspense. He has jumped into the water head first. Now, if there is a big lake where from millions of yugas a snake is straying, if a small 7-year-old child jumps in it, what will be the impact? Nothing. But when Krishna jumped in that lake, water overflew for 100-yard length. 100-yard length. So that was the heroic entry which Krishna makes in Kalya Leela. This kind of heroic entry Krishna doesn't make in most of the other places. Only in Vrindavan he will make heroic entries. In Kurukshetra he has made a very humble entry. इधर से उधर ले चलो, ठीक है. Behold Partha. But and then he enters the lake and then he starts splashing the water in musical notations, and when he is splashing the water this side, the lake is getting overflooded that side. When he's splashing it this side, basically he is giving a strong message to Kalya that look, I'm in your area. And Kalya is thinking, this is my lake. Who has entered my lake? This territorial consciousness is Kalya mentality also. When we think in a bodily platform that I am an Indian, I am an Australian, I am a Bangladeshi, I am a Hindu, I am a Muslim, and when we fight based on that, this is Kalya mentality. Vrindavan belongs to Krishna, but this idiot Kalia is thinking that Krishna has trespassed into my property. And Kalia has become very angry. It's like one Gunda going in another Gunda's area and saying, I have come here. So the original Gunda is Krishna only. So he told Kalia that, see, I am here now. Now Kalia, who's staying in his palace, starts coming up. First, he takes the darshan of the lotus feet of Krishna, which is like a blue, soft lotus flower. And he feels that these legs are so soft. Who is the cruel mother of this child who has allowed this child to come in water? Even the water is hurting his feet. These sentiments Kalia is getting. Then Kalia slowly comes up. He sees the beautiful yellow dazzling dhoti of Krishna. Then very beautifully he sees the waist of Krishna, the Padmanabh, the lotus navel from which the whole creation comes. He saw that. Then he saw the chest with Srivatsa sign and Kaustubh jewel. Then he saw the neck and the shoulders. And then finally he saw the beautiful smiling face of Krishna and the hair. In this way, Kalia actually took full darshan of Krishna first. So although he had come to kill Krishna, to fight with Krishna, for a moment he was just happy. That, oh, so nice. I am seeing someone very nice today. Why am I feeling so much love for him? But then, because he was in a snake's body, he knew nothing else to do other than coiling and biting. That's what he did. So Sanatana Goswami comments here that Kalia, through his activities, told Krishna that, see, I don't know anything other than coiling people in my wraps. So please consider this as my embrace. And I don't know anything other than biting. So please consider this as my kiss. So this is how Sanatana Goswami comments. And Krishna took it like that also. Whenever we will see any demon trying to do some offense or speak bad to Krishna, Mother Saraswati does the flip-flop work. She presents another meaning which Krishna takes to give mercy to the demon. So similarly, whenever a demon does something, Krishna sees only the good and ignores the bad. Like Putana Leela. When Putana was coming, Krishna closed his eyes and he was scanning the past lifetimes of Putana. Is there anything good which she has done? Oh yeah. In her previous life, she was the daughter of Bali Maharaj. And when I was coming as Vamanadev, she desired to feed me milk. But when I captured Bali, she also desired to feed me poison. So let me fulfill both her desires, but I will give credit to her for the milk feeding Leela. So therefore let me send her back home, back to her. So this is how Krishna, he sees only the good, doesn't see the bad. So then after that, for 2 hours or more, Krishna remained in the wraps of Kalia and he was lying down like this. I don't know why he did that. My speculation is that he was a little tired, so he thought thoda so lete hain. So sometimes, we all have experience, right? We are having so many services, duties, engagements. In between, we get some time, we nap a little bit. So I'm thinking, this is my speculation. No, Acharya says like this. For 2 hours, he remained wrapped in the coils of Kalia. And this was giving a heart attack to everybody. Actually, Acharya's comment give reason why he did this. To further intensify the viraha rasa or the pain of separation which the Vrajvasis were experiencing, so that they experience greater happiness when Krishna will later unite with them, or rather further upgrade the loving devotional service of the residents of Vrindavan, Krishna did this 2-hour sleeping pastime in the wraps of Kalia. All the friends of Krishna, when they saw that, their whole existence was meant for the pleasure of Krishna. They had no other reason in their life. The only reason they used to get up every day is to play with Krishna. The only reason they used to bring lunch boxes to eat with Krishna. The only reason they used to play is to be with Krishna, and the only reason they used to herd the cows is to be with Krishna. When they saw that the goal of our life is being killed now, they all fainted. The cows, they started crying and they didn't know what to do. The birds became morose, the trees, they stopped moving and became stunned. Earthquakes started manifesting, meteors started coming, and people in Vrindavan, they understood that something is going wrong. Immediately everybody realized today Krishna has gone without Balram to do this cow herding Leela. That means something has happened to Krishna. Nobody cared to take their mobile, nobody cared to, update their WhatsApp status, nobody cared to put their mobile to charge, nobody thought of anything. They just left everything, and nobody even wrote an email that I'll not come to office tomorrow. They just left. They wanted to search their beloved Lord, Shri Krishna. Where is he? They started running. Everybody started running. There was only one person who was unaffected. That is Balram. Balram was cutting his cake and he was like, "Aaj mera birthday hai, but koi manane ke liye hai nahi mere saath." He was like, why is everybody worried? Krishna, he says in Bhagavad Gita, "Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante maam bhuda bhava samanvita." I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds, and everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this render loving devotional service with all their hearts. So Balram is thinking that he is the master of the whole existence. What will a small, tiny snake of material world do to him? In fact, just see my Lord how he is behaving. Just see the behavior of Krishna. When he wants to take rest, he calls me and makes me his Karlon mattress, Anand Shesh. And he spends a lot of time with me, sleeping on me. But when he wants to play, instead of playing with me, he goes and plays with some idiot snake. Who can explain the behavior of Krishna? So like that he was thinking. But then he thought that, chalo, people are very disturbed, something I have to do now. So everybody started running, following the footsteps of Krishna. The Acharyas explain that the footsteps of Krishna were permanent things in Vrindavan. Now if you walk, footsteps will come, of course, but will it remain permanently? No. But in Vrindavan, the footsteps of Krishna used to remain, because even if the cows or the animals or the people, when they used to see the footprints of Krishna, they used to not step on it. Even the wind used to not disturb it. Even the leaves would not fall upon it. And that is how Akrura, when he came to Vrindavan, he spotted it. And then he jumped on it and put his face on it and started crying. So seeing those footprints, they could understand Krishna has gone here, and then footprints disappeared. They saw a tree and they saw the river Yamuna, and not the river Yamuna, the lake in the river Yamuna, and they saw Kalia is wrapped up, wrapping Krishna. Now, how many of you have children? Please raise your hand. Imagine your child is wrapped up like that in a snake. How will you feel? How many of you will feel, अच्छा हुआ, बहुत बदमाशी की. I think last Sunday, Sumandra Prabhu had come to Kanamangala. He was highlighting this point that love of God or devotional service means that when we see the pastimes of our children, we should be reminded of the pastimes of Krishna. Not that when we see the pastimes of Krishna, we should think of our children. This point you mentioned, right? I'm very much meditating on that point. Sometimes people come and say, मेरे घर में कान्हा पैदा हुए हैं, मेरे घर में राधा रानी पैदा हुई है. This is nonsense. People of Vrindavan used to love their children, used to love their family, used to have daily engagement, household engagements, but their number one priority was Krishna. They used to love their family, They used to love their household chores, they used to love their children, but they used to love Krishna more than their family, more than their children, more than their household chores. So why I gave this example, imagine your child, just to invoke those maternal, paternal feelings. Vrajvasis were not experiencing that. They were experiencing millions of times more separation. They would have tolerated if their own children would have been there, and they would have prayed to Krishna to help, just like it happened in Govardhan Leela. But they are now seeing Krishna himself in the wraps of Kali. So nobody can put down in words the kind of difficulty, the kind of pain which they were experiencing. And Krishna let that happen for 2 hours. Yugaitam nimishena chakshusha pravishyayitam shunyayitam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me. One moment is appearing like 12 years or more. The whole world has become vacant in your absence, Krishna. When the people of Vrindavan are seeing Krishna like that, somebody is remembering how Krishna used to smile and talk to them. When they are seeing Krishna like that, somebody is thinking how he used to joke with them, how he used to steal butter, how he used to affectionately talk to them, be with them. So they are remembering those pastimes and they are losing their life basically. And Mother Yashoda is almost dead. Just to keep her alive, people are chanting the glories of Krishna. And because she is hearing the glories of Krishna, so she is alive. That is the situation. And she wants to enter the lake of Yamuna, but nobody is allowing her to enter. Similarly, Nand Maharaj comes, he also wants to enter, but Balram is not allowing. Balram stopped the people in 3 different ways. First, he stopped people by his strength. Nahi jaane denge. Those who were not listening to strength, he gave reason that you should not go. Like to Nand Maharaj, he told that see, if you go, it is so poisonous you will die. Later on, Krishna will come and he will say, he will feel bad, no, that my father has died, so you should not go. Okay, I will not go. This much was the love. And those who were not listening by strength, those who were not listening by words, Balram used to smile at them and they used to forget everything and not go. So Balram had this job. And Balram was thinking, what is going on here? This is not Vaikuntha, that Krishna can go on boiling the milk. This is Vrindavan. And he should understand that these devotees are experiencing unexplainable suffering. And if even for a moment it happens more, they will actually quit their bodies. But Krishna wants to do whatever he wants to do. Nobody can understand his mind. He took his time, and after a certain time, when he decided, now is the time. Actually, one Acharya explains that Krishna was waiting for full audience to come. Krishna was waiting the Vrajvasis to come. Krishna was waiting for, Radharani and the other gopis and the people from other parts of Vraja and Gokula to also come. So when everybody had assembled and everybody was sufficiently ready, ro ke, gir ke, pagal ho gaye the, at that time Krishna started expanding his body, and then Kaliya was thinking, ab kya hua? I thought I have killed him. But he seems to be becoming big. And then he started expanding his body and Kaliya could not tolerate, and just Krishna sprang out. And then he held one of the hoods of Kaliya and then he stamped on it and jumped upon it. Now Kaliya had 100 major primary hoods and 900 secondary hoods, total 1000 hoods. So with 100 hoods with 999 hoods he's trying to attack Krishna, as you see in that photo. But Krishna is able to overpower all of them. And Krishna is dancing. And that dance is very nice. One Acharya comments that one of the reasons he started dancing was to impress the newly married gopis of Vrindavan. Because some of them had come, they had not, उनका श्रवणम कीर्तनम sufficient नहीं हुआ था. Because their mother-in-laws used to keep them away. Because in Krishna, there is only one person. Just like all rivers go to the ocean, so similarly in Vrindavan, there is only one person whom everybody can love. That is Krishna. So some mother-in-laws in their transcendental rasa used to keep their daughter-in-laws safe. We will not let them hear about Krishna. And Krishna was not liking it. Kya chal raha hai iske? Everybody should hear about me. Everybody should do Shravanam and Kirtanam because I am the original husband of everybody. Everybody is Prakriti. There is only one Purusha. That is Krishna. This is the constitutional position. Nobody should have any objection to this. So he did this pastime as a mercy to those living entities, those gopis who were devoid of the opportunity of Shravanam and Kirtanam, by showing them personally, look at me. This is me. And you should always think of me and never forget me. So he did that pastime. He started dancing on the hoods of Kalia. But his dancing music is not coming. So he only started saying himself the different notations. I don't know what they are. We can imagine something. And then the Gandharvas are like, oh, hum log ko accompany karna hai. And then they understood the notes or the rhythm which Krishna wants and they started accompanying. Then flowers started coming down, music started happening and the whole environment. And he was dancing like the original dancer. Even he was dancing in an angry mood also at times. So Lord Shiva, when he used to see that angry dance on the heads of Kalia, he used to become afraid. He used to think that I am Nataraj, the original dancer of devastation. But looks like today the world will be devastated. But then next moment Krishna will look at the Vrajvasis and smile also. Start playing his flute also. So everybody was puzzled to see that beautiful dance. And when he was thumping the different hoods of Kalia, initially fumes were coming out, fire was coming out, poison was coming out. But later after some time, blood started coming out. And Kalia started losing his strength. There were some of the wives of Kalias known as Nag Patnis. Initially they were thinking, acha hai. He's not chanting Hare Krishna. Let the material nature or let the laws of material nature beat the pulp out of him. Seekhne do. But when they saw ab to marne wala hai, then they put their children in front of them, just like saying, "Hamare bacche hain sahab, हमको छोड़ दो साहब, हमारा क्या होगा साहब." In that mood, they came in front. You can read Bhagavatam. It is mentioned, keeping their children in front of them. They came in front of Krishna and they offered full obeisances to Krishna and they started praying. So then around 30 verses prayers are there. 27 verses. Different reasons they give why Krishna should forgive Kalia. And many transcendental philosophy is established. Actually, Nagpatnis are our gurus in many ways because they highlight the fundamentals of Krishna consciousness in their prayers. The 60th verse of the 16th chapter of the 10th canto, I personally like it very much. It is the summary of the entire prayers. Bhavan hi karanam tatra sarvagno jagadishwarah anugraham nigraham va manasya tadvidhehinah. The Nagpatnis are saying, Bhavan hi karanam tatra sarvagno jagadishwarah. My dear Lord Krishna, you know everything. You are our best well-wisher. We don't know what we deserve. So whether you give us punishment or whether you give us reward, we know whatever you give it to us is for our best well-being, because you are our best well-wisher. So this is the conclusion of the prayers of Nagpatnis. In fact, all of us should have this mood. Krishna's mercy is sometimes sweet mercy and sometimes sour mercy. But ultimately it is mercy only. No? We only want sweet mercy. There's a joke that if we eat only Rasmalai Mahaprasad, we will get sugar. We have to eat Karela Mahaprasad also. So in terms of, there's a joke that this frontline services, like all this kirtan and preaching and all, this is like Rasmalai Mahaprasad. You need to do some background services like management and cleaning, etc. also. Otherwise, imbalance ho jayega. There has to be a balance of both. So Krishna's mercy comes as sweet mercy, as sour mercy, and both mercy is Mahaprasad. A devotee who complains that what is happening with me is not good, it is as if it is happening without the sanction of Krishna. And if Krishna has sanctioned this to happen, then you should know it is for your best well-being. Why don't you accept it as Mahaprasad? This is the mood of the Nagapatnis. Bhavan hi karanam tatra sarvagnyo jagadishvara anugraham nigraham va. Sweet mercy, sour mercy, you decide. Manasya tad videhina. You are our best well-wisher. Now, earlier Krishna punished Kaliya so much, but he was not able to give up the envious mentality. But when he heard the prayers of the Nagapatnis, he started to surrender. Lesson learned. We need the mercy of Krishna and we need the association of devotees of Krishna to give up enviousness completely. Without mercy, simply association may not help. Simply association, no mercy may not help. We need both. That is why we have to be in the association of devotees of Krishna and cry in front of Krishna to get rid of enviousness. And then 5-6 verses Kaliya also prays that please forgive me, etc., etc. And then Krishna gives that transcendental order that I order you to leave Vrindavan and go back to Ramanaka Islands, which in today's world is called as Fiji. Therefore, when you go to Fiji, there is a temple called ISKCON Fiji. And in ISKCON Fiji, it is the only ISKCON temple which has Kaliya Krishna deities, not Radha Krishna deities. There is Kaliya, there is Krishna, and there are some Nagpatnis, and people daily Samsaradhava, they sing in front of that. ISKCON Fiji. Once Srila Prabhupada was asked by one disciple that Srila Prabhupada, does Kaliya actually stay in Fiji? So Srila Prabhupada asked a question which gave very clarity. I have read this in the conversations of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada asked that what do the locals say? They say that there is an area where a great ancient snake stays. So Srila Prabhupada asked, are there any smaller snakes in that area? Everybody said no. Are there any other smaller predators like tigers or lions in that area? The disciples said no. Srila Prabhupada said, that means Kaliya is there. But nobody can see Kaliya, of course. Even to see those demons who have interacted with Krishna, we don't have the qualification. What to speak of seeing Krishna? That is our situation. So this is the whole Kaliya pastime. Of course, I have skipped many sections. But now I want to go to the part 2, which is the lessons derived from this Kaliya Leela. I'll just take few minutes to present it to you. What is the qualification to understand Bhagavad Gita? What does Krishna say? Yes.
Sincere hearing and surrender.
Sorry?
Sincere hearing and surrender.
Sincere hearing and surrendered. Any specific shloka of Bhagavad Gita can you quote to prove or give reference to what you said? That is the qualification to understand Bhagavad Gita? That means you should be in a Karpanya dosha situation. Karpanya dosha. Parata Svabhava. Any other?
भगवत गीता नॉन इन बिजनेस एंड सखा तो वर्ष है ना सखा
यस, भक्तो सी में सखा चेती स एवायम मया तेद्या योग प्रोक्तः पुरातनः भक्तो सी में सखा चेती रहस्यम ये तदुत्तमम्. One needs to be non-envious friendly, one needs to have non-envious friendly service attitude towards Krishna. And secondly, one should be a devotee of Krishna. You have to accept that yes, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Until unless you have these two qualifications, you cannot understand the Bhagavad Gita, you cannot understand the basics of Krishna consciousness, you cannot progress in Krishna consciousness. Even if you come in the association of devotees, you'll end up becoming Putana, false guru. And in this world, just like Putana very symbolically captures all the infants, in this world, as soon as an infant is born, it falls in the hands of Putana, false gurus, conventional religions, conventional traditions, and they start thinking this is the truth. So if we are envious of Krishna, we will never progress in bhakti, and if we do not accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we are finished. So this enviousness we have to get rid of. Now please understand, even in Nectar of Instruction, shloka number 5, Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada says, one should mentally offer obeisances to a person who chants Hare Krishna. One should physically offer obeisances and offer all respect to a person who has been initiated and engaged by the spiritual master in the worship of the deity. And one should take the association of a person who has given up the desire to criticize others. That means one who is non-envious. So non-enviousness is so important as a quality. Dhira dhira jana priya priya karo nirmat sarau pujito. In Vrindavan there were 6 Goswamis who were non-envious. Dhira adhira. The gentlemen of Vrindavan and the thugs and the thieves and the ruffians of Vrindavan both used to respect the 6 Goswamis. Even the thieves and the thugs and the ruffians used to come and surrender and talk to the 6 Goswamis. And even the gentlemen used to come and surrender and talk to the 6 Goswamis. Why? Because the 6 Goswamis had given up the envious mentality. What is the result of envy? This Kaliya represents the enviousness attitude. We are trying to derive lessons. How important it is to give up this anartha. If somebody has this anartha, what did Krishna do to Kaliya? He banished him from Vrindavan. You get lost. So a devotee or a sadhaka or a practicing person, devotee or a non-devotee, if they have enviousness in their heart and if they are not honest and sincere about giving it up, they will be removed and thrown away from the association of devotees. Is it clear? How many of us want to be removed and thrown away from the Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya? Please raise your hands. Nobody. So therefore we have to give up the envious mentality. Now what happens if a devotee is thrown out? Just like Kaliya was asked to leave Vrindavan, but did Krishna give his mercy to him? Yes. Did Krishna give his footprints on his... Just like in Janmashtami, when people come, we put this tilak mark, no? We should remember the Kaliya Leela. Whenever we put the tilak on our head, we should remember, yes, I am Kaliya. And this is Krishna's mercy on me. Even when a devotee is thrown out of the association of other devotees, Krishna is still protecting him. So nobody should look down upon any devotee who has left the Sankirtan movement or who has been thrown out due to envious nature. अपिचेत सुदुराचारो भजते माम अनन्य भाग साधुरेव समन्तव्य सम्यक व्यवसितो हि सः. Even if somebody is unqualified to stay in the association of devotees, even if somebody is not practicing the austerity to do Sankirtan, even if somebody is very quarrelsome, hypocrite and envious, but if they are somehow started the process of chanting Hare Krishna, you should know that Krishna will do something soon with them. So even if a devotee is outside the devotee association, Krishna is still protecting him. We should not look down upon such a person, but we should be aware that if we don't give up this enviousness, we will be thrown out. Now question comes, why does Krishna allow such envious people to come in the association of devotees in the first place? Why did Krishna allow Kaliya to come in Vrindavan? And devotees are so innocent and simple. Even when a false guru like Putana comes in, they are not able to detect. Devotees are very simple-hearted people. Even in demons, they see good qualities. So these envious people, when they will come in the association of devotees, no, externally they will look like devotees only, wearing cloth and garland, putting tilak, saying Hare Krishna to everybody. And Krishna will allow them also, hoping that maybe when he will associate with my devotees, he will give up his envious nature. But when Krishna sees that this person is not giving up envious nature, he personally comes and takes charge and does some pastime and throws him out. This is the lesson which we learn. Don't think that if I am envious and if I have entered the association of devotees, acting like a demon, everything is going unnoticed. Krishna is seeing. And he knows when to act. And when he will act, no, it will be very painful. So these are some of the lessons which we derive. Now, I would like to close today's discussion by telling you what is the root cause of enviousness and how to give up enviousness. Do you want to know these two things? What is the root cause of enviousness? Please note it down. Sense gratification is the root cause of enviousness. Indriya tripti. The desire to enjoy separately from Krishna is the root cause of our enviousness. So how many of you think that if we give up our sense gratification, we can give up our enviousness also? How many of you think? So how to give up sense gratification? I'm quoting from Srimad Bhagavatam 11:3:30. This verse is, the theme of this verse is how to give up sense gratification. One should learn how to associate with the devotees of the Lord by gathering with them to chant the glories of the Lord. That means Sankirtan karna hai. It is easy to chant the glories of the Lord all alone. But it is very difficult to chant Hare Krishna and serve Krishna in the association of devotees. Sankirtan is an austerity. Only a real hero can do Sankirtan. Everybody can create their own apasampradayas and everybody can create their own Hare Krishna movements and everybody can create their own institutions. But our progress depends on how surrendered we are to the movement created by Srila Prabhupada, which is known as ISKCON, and do whatever it takes to always remain in ISKCON and serve together, despite differences. Let's not blame ISKCON for everything which is happening wrong to us. Just like if we are traveling in a flight, if a person sitting next to us is very obnoxious, not had bath from the last 30 days, doing all nonsense, will we blame the airlines for that? It is our karma that we only got a seat next to him. We have to tolerate. That is our purification. So when we stay in the association of devotees, these last vestiges of enjoyer mentality is cleaned up. That is what Prabhupada or the BBT Purport is saying. One should learn how to associate with devotees of the Lord by gathering with them to chant the glories of the Lord. This process is most purifying. As please listen very carefully. As devotees thus develop the loving friendship, they feel mutual happiness and satisfaction. If I am not doing Sankirtan, then I will have happiness and satisfaction in sense gratification. But here we are being encouraged that you find your happiness and satisfaction in loving friendship, which you attain in the association of devotees while serving together. And thus by encouraging one another to give up sense gratification, and thus by encouraging one another, they are able to give up sense gratification, which is the cause of all suffering. So only in devotee association you can give up sense gratification. When you will hear, oh, you have stopped waking up at 7 a.m. Now you have started waking up at 5 a.m. I will also do. Oh, you have started chanting 16 rounds and you are not missing it on a daily basis. I will also try. Oh, you have given up onion garlic. I will also try. Oh, you have given up this. Oh, you have given up that. This is the process to give up sense gratification. 11:3:30. Now, giving up enviousness is also possible. How many of you think giving up enviousness is not possible? Anybody who tells you that enviousness I cannot give up, or anybody who tells you it is not possible to give up enviousness, don't associate with that person. Simple. Again, I am quoting from 10:13:60. This is the last purport written by Srila Prabhupada. Or maybe few more, one or two purports in 14th chapter he gave, but this is the last purport. In this purport, Srila Prabhupada explains how to give up enviousness. Do you want to hear? Are you taking, with faith and devotion, are you hearing? Srila Prabhupada says, 10:13:60. Srimad Bhagavatam. The word vana means forest. We are afraid of the forest and do not wish to go there. But in Vrindavan, the forest animals are as good as demigods, for they have no envy. Even in this material world, the forest animals live together, and when they go to drink water, they do not attack anyone. Envy develops because of sense gratification. But in Vrindavan there is no sense gratification, for the only aim is Krishna's satisfaction. Even in this material world, the animals in Vrindavan are not envious of the sadhus who live there. The sadhus keep cows and supply milk to the tigers, saying, "Come, my dear tiger, take little milk." Thus, envy and malice is unknown in Vrindavan. That is the difference between Vrindavan and ordinary world. We are horrified to hear the name Vana, the forest. But in Vrindavana, there is no such horror. Everyone is happy. How? By pleasing Krishna. Krishnot Kirtana Gana Nartana Paro. Whether a Goswami or a tiger or other ferocious mammal, everybody's business is same, to please Krishna. Even the tigers are also devotees. This is the specific qualification of Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, everyone is happy. The calf is happy, the cat is happy, the dog is happy, the man is happy, everyone. These purports Srila Prabhupada was telling from his Antilila pastimes. He is on his bed and he is about to quit his body and he is dictating these purports. It is a full expression of his heart. Please listen. Everyone wants to serve Krishna in a different capacity. Thus, there is no envy. One may sometimes think that the monkeys in Vrindavan are envious because they cause mischief and steal food. But in Vrindavan, we find that the monkeys are allowed to take butter, which Krishna himself distributes. Krishna personally demonstrates that everyone has a right to live. This is Vrindavan life. Why should I live and you die? Towards the end of this purport, Srila Prabhupada, very beautiful purport you can read. The last line of this purport has caught my attention, and I want to present it to you for your pleasure, and I want to present it to myself so that I can understand it. Srila Prabhupada says, this non-envious mentality cannot appear all of a sudden, but it will gradually develop with Krishna consciousness by sadhana. By sadhana, one can come to this platform. That means whatever process which Srila Prabhupada has given us, the first thing is to remain in the association of devotees, develop loving relationships, find mutual happiness and satisfaction, and encourage each other to give up sense gratification. This is step number 1. Step number 2 is whatever process which Srila Prabhupada has given us, the morning program, the chanting of the 16 rounds of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the following of the 4 regulative principles, the vow to eat only prasadam, and to always remain in the association of devotees. Simply if we do these 4 things, this is called sadhana, then by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Krishna, we will come to the non-envious platform. And this is the process of giving up sense gratification. This is the process of giving up enviousness. And this is the process of defeating Kaliya. With this, I would like to conclude today's discussion. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Such a nectar, we never wanted to stop, but time is there, we have to follow. But yeah, if you have any questions, you ask.
Any questions, comments? By the way, how many of us, one humble presentation from my side. One should never think that they have understood this Kaliya Leela, or they have heard the Putana pastime, or they know it. Lord Brahma says in his prayers that anybody who thinks, who understands your pastimes, my respectful obeisances to him, but when it comes to me, I cannot understand your pastimes. Now, who here is more intelligent than Brahma? Nobody. So therefore, nobody can understand Krishna's pastimes fully. Just like different birds, based on their capacity, they fly to different heights in the sky. Similarly, different sadhakas or devotees, based on their understanding and realization, they present Krishna Katha. So even when next time Kaliya Leela is done, devotees should come. They should not say, last year हो गया था, इस साल पूतना करेंगे. Shrinvatam swat katha Krishna punya shravana kirtan. Thank you. If there are no questions or comments, there are questions.
Hare Krishna. We spoke on enviousness. Just wanted to understand what all are the symptoms we exhibit when we are envious, and so that we know that we have to really work on that. Because many times we are ignorant, and so we should understand.
Chapter 16, Bhagavad Gita, divine and demoniac natures. Verse number 1, 2, 3, 4, they talk about divine qualities. Verse number 5 till the end of the chapter is demoniac qualities. Please read that. This Asuri Sampada, if we feel while reading that it is there in us, that means we are envious. All the qualities of an envious person is highlighted in chapter 16. Asuri Sampada, demoniac natures, which Krishna speaks about, and Krishna gives the solution also. Krishna gives the solution there also, how to overcome this divine and demoniac natures. Sorry, demoniac natures. Sorry, bro, I've answered in very brief, but I cannot give more detail than Krishna. Very nicely, envious nature is described there. But primary sutra of enviousness is, I want to experience happiness being forgetful of Krishna. That is the root of enviousness. I want to experience some kind of rasa independent of Krishna. That is the root cause of enviousness. And then it manifests in various ways. Actually, unlimited ways. All the Ananta Koti Brahmandas which are there, you will see unlimited varieties of enviousness. One of the most common ways is finding faults with devotees, ignoring their good qualities and focusing only on their bad qualities and making them suffer for their bad qualities, or putting them on the spot because of their bad qualities, is a sure sign of enviousness. When we see another devotee advancing in Krishna consciousness and we feel that that is a challenge to my advancement, that is a sure sign of enviousness. If somebody is chanting 16 rounds and I am chanting 8 rounds, how is it a challenge to me? I have a separate unique relationship with Krishna. Somebody else has a separate unique relationship with Krishna. If they are progressing in their separate unique relationship with Krishna, how is that a problem to my unique relationship with Krishna? If I am not able to understand this, and if I am thinking that because this person is progressing so much, so I am not getting progress, that is a sure sign of envy. Those devotees who are able to give pleasure to Krishna, those devotees who are able to do some confidential services to Krishna, being against those devotees is also a sign of enviousness. And remaining chapter 16. I hope it answers.
Hare Krishna. Okay, at the end of the Kaliya Kaliya surrender, but still Krishna ordered him to go away from the execution of the devotees.
Yeah.
How it is?
That is the lesson which we learn from this Kaliya Leela. If you are envious, if you have practiced enviousness, and if you have given trouble to the other devotees of Krishna, and if you have not... See, Nagapatnis were devotees of Krishna. If Kaliya, taking the association of the Nagapatnis, would have become devotee, then Krishna wouldn't have thrown him out. Why did Krishna come? Because all hopes of Kaliya becoming a devotee was finished. So Krishna came and exhibited force. So when he has exhibited force, he has to leave. That is why it is always advisable to pray and cry in front of Krishna and struggle by the mercy of Guru, under the guidance of Guru, to deal with the anarthas and seek help in removal of anarthas. Because if we don't do it, then Krishna will do it. And when Krishna will do it, it will be very painful. So better we give it up on our own. This is my understanding. The surrender which Kaliya made was not a willing surrender. It was forceful surrender. And in Vrindavan, we need individual, spontaneous, voluntary surrender. He was not having this ISV, ISKCON Silicon Valley, individual, spontaneous, voluntary attitude. So therefore he could not stay in Vrindavan. He could not stay in Sankirtan movement. This is my understanding. This side we'll give, because 2 questions already came from Prabhuji's side. We'll take some Mataji questions. Time hai kya?
Hare Krishna.
for the re-enlightening session for him. So all of us have the 10 Krishna. So, but along with the endeavor, we need Krishna mercy also probably.
Yes.
Give up the quality
Yes.
that Anartha.
Yes.
So, but the previous question, like the answer you said, like before Krishna act on us, we have to give up that. So give up that.
We need mercy. So we have to cry in front of Krishna. Kalia was not crying for mercy. It is not that Krishna's mercy will come only through Sakshat Krishna. Krishna's mercy comes in various ways. Sakshat dharitvena samasta shastra uktas tatha bhavyate vasanti samsara dava nanalina loka tranaya karunyam dhanabhanatam. So there are various ways, externally, internally, Krishna comes to help us. And we have to accept that help by giving up sense gratification. When all such help fails, then something very graphic Krishna has to do. It is not that if Krishna is not physically in front of us, we are not associating with Krishna. It is not that if Guru is not physically in front of us, we are not associating with Guru. We can always think of Krishna. We can always meditate on the instructions of Guru. And when we try to serve them with full honesty and sincerity, and if we are able to do it consistently, that is mercy. Hare Krishna. Okay?
So you given example of 16 rounds, 8 rounds.
Sorry?
16 rounds, somebody is doing 16 rounds, I am doing 8 rounds.
I am doing one round, yeah.
I am at this of you. So how I will progress? If I am not copying with trying to reach that level, how I will go?
So enviousness means I'm trying to not see the good quality in someone, and at the same time I'm trying to produce some negative effect for that person also. I'll give you an example, a very shameless example. When I used to stay in base, I was very envious of a devotee who was always coming on time for Mangalarti. Enough is enough. So one day, me and my friend, we went and we changed his alarm clock so that he becomes late and he has to give fine. This is enviousness. But if I am able to get inspired by someone, that he's so nicely coming for Mangalarti daily, I should also try to come. This is not enviousness. This is inspiration. Enviousness is what I did. I didn't want to come on time, and there is one person who is coming. I don't want him also to come on time. What I did was enviousness. But what you are thinking that I am chanting 8 rounds, and somebody is chanting 16 rounds. So I should also come to 16 rounds. That is not enviousness. That is inspiration. Is this clear, the thing? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare.
So it's then as a level of the Guru for giving this lecture Pastor, I request you keep coming again and again in this center. Thank you with loud chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna. Now, next section of this program is the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Let's drown ourselves into the nectarine sweetness of the holy name.